Welcome, ladies and gents, to the very first episode of Chocolate Gaming News. I'm your host, Tony Q Tomasello, aka Chocolate Heat. I'm here to give you all the shit that's happened this past week. Anywhere from video game deals to video game entertainment and movie releases and all that jib jab. So why don't we get started? First on the docket today, if any of you guys are on the PC, we have Sunset Overdrive out. I tried to look for this game recently this morning. I couldn't find it. It might not be on Steam. I'm not entirely sure what the service would be provided. If you're not very familiar, Sunset Overdrive was released about, I think, 4 years ago for the Xbox. And I guess they just had a decision to release it on PC, which is pretty smart. The game's been pretty dead for a while. To be honest, it was quite underrated when it came out also. Really surprised that it didn't last very long. The hype train died quickly. Maybe it was due to, I don't know, the game wasn't being supported or things of that nature, but personally I didn't look into it. I got into it late. I still thought it was a fantastic game, but it is out today. It's rumored to be $20, so look forward to that. I got to see if it's actually on Steam or not, because that's pretty much where everyone buys their games. Number 2 in the docket, we have Smite is coming out for the Switch. I'm a huge fan of Smite. Shit, I have so many hours put into that goddamn game, I can't even explain to you. I have well over 1,000 hours in Smite alone. And it coming to Switch is actually pretty cool. As far as how it's going to be able to be played, the Switch is not best for its servers. I believe if the company that is hosting it, i.e. Epic, has their servers, they're actually really good on the Switch. Hopefully this will be the same for Smite and Hi-Rez. I'm not entirely sure, but it's actually really good to see the Switch getting more MOBAs. It's good to see the Switch getting more games, period. Becoming more of a online console. Nintendo's consoles before this haven't really been online oriented. If you know the GameCube, they only had one title, I believe, that was online, which was Star Ocean. And the Wii wasn't predominantly online, and the Wii wasn't predominantly online either, but they weren't that really great. But it's good to see Switch getting more games. I would love to see Switch get more games. I love the system. By far, Xbox is still my number one pick to play, but it's good to see Switch doing things. Third on the docket, Assassin's Creed produces wine now. Now, I'm not sure if this is officially sanctioned by Ubisoft, but obviously it's not created by Ubisoft. If you're interested, Lot18.com has a wide selection of Assassin's Creed wines. I believe they're portrayed after the characters of Assassin's Creed. I pulled up one of them to try to figure out the goddamn name. And these names, I'm not versed in wine. I don't like wine. But I'll give it a try. They're selling such wines as the Ezio Auditore Super Tuscan Red Blend. This is pretty simple. But this one, the Altair Inblood Ad Lord Valley Cabernet France, the Avelin de Crepa Alpeton Costeron Controle. I really can't pronounce them that well, but they're $20 a bottle. Bottles look pretty nice. Again, I'm not a big wine drinker, but if you're interested, Lot18.com has them out for sale. You can get half a case for $108. You can get a full case for $192. So it's a pretty good deal if you're into wine, you're into video games. So check it out. Let's see, what we have next on the docket is Reggie Films from Nintendo America has stated that I know a lot of people are looking forward to the 64 Mini Classic, or rumors. There was actually a big rumor that they were going to release news, or maybe even release it this holiday. Which is why he came out and made a statement. But pretty much in the statement he says, don't look forward to 64 Mini anytime soon. It's in our thoughts, but it's not what we're working on right now, which is a little disappointing. The NES Classic and the SNES Classic sold out in the beginning. They're more, you can find them more now, but they sold very well. It was very profitable for Nintendo. So clearly the next step above that is N64 Classic, which I'm hugely excited for whenever they come out with. It's a definite buy for me. 64 is very near to all of our hearts, but unfortunately they're not working on it anytime soon, which sucks, but that's life. Next on the docket, very big news actually. Well, we found out this week that Sony announced they're not doing E3. To most people, they're like, oh, okay, whatever. But this is actually really important news if you dig deep into it. Sony's been a part of E3 forever and ever. I don't think they've ever not did a big press release. They usually take over the big auditorium. Last year they had a little bit of a scuffle switching auditoriums, but they do a big auditorium release. They show all their new games. But next year they're actually not going to be at E3. They're still going to have their presence there. They probably still have a booth like they usually do, but they're not going to do a press conference, which is really big. Speaking about this, I mean, this is really big news for Nintendo. This is really big news for Xbox, especially for Xbox. You know, it puts in, takes off a little bit of pressure of what Sony's going to bring, and you're able to refresh your brand, especially the Xbox, who is riding in the coattail of PS4, unfortunately. PS4 is outselling Xbox. It's been outselling Xbox. They had a great launch. They had a great pre-launch and great marketing scheme, and unfortunately took it from Xbox over last gen. So Xbox is trying to regain ground. Their company, they're getting all these studios, buying all these studios. They're releasing their Game Pass. All this is to promote the Xbox brand, to get out there. Now they're not doing bad, you know. I would never say Xbox is just going bankrupt. They're doing horribly, but everyone knows that PS4 is winning this console war. So Xbox is trying to gain ground. This is very important for Xbox to go in and say, look, this is what we got. This is what we're throwing out next year. And they're able to do that without Sony breathing on their back. So hopefully at next year's E3, Xbox will knock it out of the park. I've been an Xbox fanboy for a long time. I love all my systems, but clearly I play my Xbox the most, so I want to see them flourish. As far as Sony's side, this is actually really big news for them too, because you got to understand that if they're not bringing something this year, why are they doing that? What does that mean for the year after? A lot of speculation is that, of course, the PS5 or whatever they're going to call it is going to be coming out in a couple years, and this is really big news going towards that. Them saying they're not going to have anything in 2019, I can almost 100% guarantee in 2020 they're going to say this is the PS5 that's coming out the end of the year, and it's got all these features. We've been working hard, we've been keeping silent, and they're going to come hard. So 2020, when E3 rolls back around, they're going to come hard, and it's going to be great to see what they got. Another news, small news, Command & Conquer is getting a remaster. A lot of the younger gamers don't know what Command & Conquer brought to the table. It was a great RTS back in its day for the PC. Unfortunately, EA, they kind of cut the fans deep this past E3. What they released was some crappy on-stage 1v1 Command & Conquer game for the mobile or whatever. So a lot of people were really upset. They showed the Command & Conquer brand and they were like, wow, Command & Conquer's coming back, and they're like, nope, this is for phones. And it just looked shoddy, it looked kiddish. A lot of people were upset, but now they're coming out with a Command & Conquer remaster. This is something to look forward to. Fans will hopefully be excited. I'm excited. I wasn't the biggest Command & Conquer player because at the time I really didn't have a PC, but for when I did play it, I really did enjoy it. So it'd be good to go back. Another small news, if you're an Overwatch fan, Ashe is out. She's out of playtesting and she's able to be playable. I haven't hopped back into Overwatch in a while, but from the videos I've seen of Ashe, I'm really enjoying it. I'm really liking it. I just might do that, just might hop into that and play her for a little bit. It's going to take a minute to get me off Call of Duty Red Dead, but hey, anything's possible. For PS4 players, great news for you. PUBG is coming in December. If you don't know what PUBG is, you must live under a rock. Or maybe you're just a Fortnite guy. Fortnite had the smart decision to launch on all consoles, and it's gained like crazy ground. Crazy ground. It's the number one game in the world right now. Its user base is insane. A little bit declining numbers, but as far as the game itself, is still rising. So PUBG's coming off the PS4. If you haven't played it, the best way to describe it is Fortnite, but in a more realistic brand. I enjoyed PUBG on the PC for a while. I'm playing Call of Duty Blackout now. It's kind of my battle royale game for the moment. But I urge PS4 players, if you want something more realistic, if you don't like the building in Fortnite, if you can't get behind the kiddish cartoon in Fortnite, and maybe Call of Duty still doesn't have the more realistic simulation that you want, PUBG is up your alley. Now that it's out of beta testing, it's been out of beta testing for a few months now. The game runs a lot smoother. To be honest with you though, I can't say it runs as smooth as Fortnite right now. Because Epic is a really big company, really great servers. They know what they're doing. I forgot the company behind PUBG, Blue Whale, something like that. They're not as big, but they're doing a good job. So if you haven't tried it, try it out. It's not free, unfortunately. Hopefully, PS4 has free-to-play days like Xbox. Maybe you can give it a try. But if you want something more serious, battle royale game, try PUBG. Another small news: Nuketown trailer has been released. So if you're a Call of Duty fan, you know what Nuketown is. It's one of the most iconic maps in Call of Duty. I don't like the map, unfortunately. It's very small, but it's really big news. And I'm pretty sure PS4 is going to be getting it before Xbox. I think the deal is 2 weeks or a month. I can't remember. It's usually a month for release, but I think they dwindled it down to 2 weeks. Again, I'm not sure on that, but look forward to the new Nuketown maps. It's going to be in rotation soon on PS4 and then after Xbox. And another small news again: if you have a Nintendo Switch, YouTube is coming. This is not crazy important, but it's good to see steps being made. The Switch becoming more of not an entertainment console, but something you can do besides playing games. Now, I don't think that the Switch should have everything from HBO Go or whatever to Hulu and all that. Actually, it does have Hulu to crazy other apps. You know, I don't think it should have all the apps that Xbox has, like Sling and all that crazy stuff. I don't want it to. It's good to see Hulu. It's good to see YouTube on there. But you know, I would like just a little bit more. You know, make it more of a console that we can do a lot of things with. I can take it to play games on a plane, and maybe if I download some videos off Netflix or something like that, I can watch Netflix videos. So it'd be a smart move for them to implement more stuff. So pretty much for today, that's pretty much the news roundup. I got video game releases for you. This week, Pokemon Let's Go just released. It's getting decent reviews, mid-level reviews. It's a nice mix between the original Pokemon games for the handheld and Pokemon Go. It's a smart integration that they did. It's very smart, actually. As you know, Pokemon Go for the phones took off out of the stratosphere, I want to say a year ago, just about. You know, everyone was playing it. Its player base has been killed. No, I don't want to say that. They still have a very strong player base, but nowhere near what they used to have. This was a smart move on Nintendo's hand to integrate something on the Switch and for your hand or for your phone. You'll be able to transfer in and out. I'm not really sure how that entirely works. I believe there's like a limit and how many and stuff you can do, but it's very smart, and I heard the game's decent. If you're into Pokemon Black and Red and all that, it's not really necessarily like that, but if you want a new Pokemon game for your Switch, this is what we're going to get until we get the official brand new IP Pokemon game. They said they've been working on a year ago, so I'm excited to see what that looks like. But if you want this to hold you over, reviews are decent. You also have Fallout 76 come out. From the beta impressions, hasn't been getting the best reviews. It hasn't had an official review, at least from a credible source website yet. The game is pretty big, but from the way it's been running, it hasn't been that great. If you are a big Fallout fan, the one drawback is it doesn't have the big crazy open world NPCs inhabited. It's more of a multiplayer game. From reports, if you want to play solo, it's going to be a little bit empty. You still get the Fallout, but not full Fallout. It's like Fallout Light if you're playing solo, the best way to describe it. So if you're in the Fallout and you're in the multiplayer, this is the best mix. But if you want the original Fallout, the successor to Fallout 4, you might want to stray away from this one. Spyro Reignited came out. It's getting great reviews. I'm looking to pick it up hopefully on Black Friday. I could pick it up now, but from what I've seen in Black Friday leaked ads, it's going to be on sale. So that's something I'm looking forward to. If you enjoyed the Crash trilogy remastered, from what I understand, this is going to be just as good, if not better. Hitman 2 came out. Now that we have Hitman 2, the previous Hitman came out in episodes. I believe they stopped that. They're in with a new publisher, I believe. I don't think Square Enix is the one that published this anymore. I'm not entirely sure. But it's a full-fledged game now. Reviews are pretty good for it. It's pretty much saying this is like the first Hitman with the seasons, but just in a complete package. You also have SNK 40th anniversary coming up for the Switch. That's something I'm very looking forward to. I didn't see much about it, but SNK was a big company back then. They had great, fantastic games with great controls. So I'm looking forward to getting that for the Switch. Battlefield, if you pre-ordered the deluxe edition, you got it early. You're able to play that now. The official release for Battlefield, I believe, will be Tuesday. Sid Meier's Civilization for the Switch. I'm really interested in how that's going to run. Sid Meier's is always a little bit complicated of a game. I can't say I'm excited to buy it on the Switch, but I do want to see how it runs. Also, if you're interested, Trailblazers for the Switch came out. It's a mix between Mario Kart and Splatoon is the best way, and that's what you'll see in that review. Mario Kart Splatoon. It's a way of kart racing, and you're able to paint the track, give you boost, give your teammates boost. So every review you're gonna see the same thing: Mario Kart with Splatoon. And that's game releases for you. Last but not least, we do have Blu-ray releases. If you're interested in The Meg, it came out. I didn't see the movie. It's got okay reviews as far as the idea of the movie. If you want to just see an action-oriented movie with a dumb premise, it delivers. But if you go in there to something smart, intriguing, it's going to turn your head and make you think you're going to the wrong movie. Maybe I'll pick it up if it's on sale on Black Friday. I'll see. You also got Mile 22 with Mark Wahlberg, which got actually really bad reviews. I love Mark Wahlberg, but this movie didn't seem that interesting to me. I mean, I think they had Maggie from The Walking Dead. I wish I knew her name. I hate saying people's name they portrayed in movies and stuff like that when I'm giving news and stuff like that. But I can't remember her name. It's Maggie from The Walking Dead. She's in it, but I heard it wasn't that great. But if you like Mark Wahlberg and look for an action movie, give it a try. You had Alpha come out, which is a tale between a boy and a wolf. Now, this did terrible in theaters. It got rave reviews that said it was shot fantastically. I forgot the gentleman who produced the movie. He made some different iconic movies. Oh, that's what it was. One of the producers from one of my favorite all-time movies, Menace to Society. He made a couple of great other movies, but they made this. He came out with it, and it just didn't do well. Some theaters actually threw it out after a few weeks. Not that it was bad, it just wasn't generating ticket sales. Next you got which is actually really interesting if you look into it, Pixar short films. Pixar, as you know, makes Toy Story and Cars and all that, but what they do if you ever go, well, they actually release it in their DVDs too sometimes. If you ever go to the movies or in their Blu-ray releases, you'll see short films and stuff like that. And they're always really good, they're always really cute, they're always like whimsical and stuff like that. And they're all really great. I love watching the little Pixar short films. They actually releasing their short films in collections. Now this is the third collection. I haven't seen what the other two encompass, but I looked at some of this and I'm really intrigued actually. This is actually the one DVD or Blu-ray I'm definitely going to pick up. I'm probably going to go out and pick it up today because I'm actually really excited about that. There's a couple of releases. I believe some of the Rambos released for 4K, but nothing brand new that was released. There were some remasters that came out this week too, but nothing super and brand new, but those are it. So that's it. This has been the first episode of Chocolate Gaming News. I'm signing out. Hopefully you stay tuned. I'm actually bringing you more news hopefully next week. Get some reviews going out. If you look for Chocolate Gaming on Facebook, you'll find me. And if you also look for Chocolate Gaming on YouTube, you'll also find me there. Have a good day.